Hello everybody. Today we are going to study another lesson, but that is similar to the previous one. It is also about critical comment regarding the present system of the education. But in today's lesson we are going to study only the comment given by one of the scholar, mystic, and some of the group call him as God, Bhagavan, suppose. Okay. Well, the topics what we are going to study is 5 dimensions of education. The she dimension, dimension means aspect. 5 dimension of education. And you guess that like previous, present system is narrow, insufficient. Like this, he also support them, but he has specific 5 dimension regarding education. Okay. Now let's introduce to the author. That is the introduction to the author. His name is Osho Rajneesh, and he is also known as Bhagavan, God. He was born in 11 December 1931 in India and died in 1990. Okay. And he started Neo Sannyasin, not old Sannyasin, Neo Sannyasin. Okay, they are quite spiritual rather than religious. They are not religious, they are spiritual. It is popularly known as his spirituality and mysticism. Mysticism and spirituality, these two aspects are quite popular. Okay. Now let's see what does he say about. Before he mentioned the 5 dimensions of education, he says something about present system of the education and what prevail in education, right? But here are some difficult words. Let's see. Tremendous. Tremendous means wonderful, marvelous. Reverence. Reverence means deep respect. Calamity. Calamity means misfortune, mishap. Nuance means tones, fine distinction. Ingrained means deep rooted, embedded. Aikido, a Japanese form of arts, this type of martial art that's used for self defense. Judishtu, that's also Japanese system of unarmed combat without arm. And Hasidism is the mystical Jewish movements in Poland in 18th century. Tao, a Chinese philosophy, it tells about the absolute principle underlying the universe. Cannibal, who eats human flesh. As who eats human flesh, they are called cannibals. Okay, these are some of the difficult words. Well, now let's talk about what he say regarding the present system of the education. As I already told you that the present system of the education is not enough, that is incomplete, that is superficial, it is hollow, it is insufficient, right? Such education cannot be very much fruitful. It's harmful also. Basically, it is harmful because it is based on competition. It is based on competition. What does feeling with the competition create? Examination. Examination is given more priority. Examination is more important than learning. Now what happened? The education has become goal oriented, and they sacrifice, they destroy all their present for the sake of future, which is unknown. Working for future, sacrificing their present, that creates tremendous emptiness in life. Remember, tremendous emptiness in life. Goal oriented education create tremendous emptiness in life, because our each and every second of our present is so much valuable, but many of us we kill our present for the sake of future. That creates tremendous emptiness. He is against the present system of examination. Examination is not good for upgrade the students. But what is necessary? Everyday observation by the teacher. Everyday observation by the teacher, and on the basis of the observation, students should be moved forwards or they should be kept in the same level for some time. That should not be fail or the pass. In our system, what happened? It's pass, it's fail, right? But that should not be. Why? There is no pass and fail. Only the point is that some people are fast and some people are slow. Because of the past and fail, what happened? Fail. That creates the wound of inferiority. Fail creates the wound of inferiority. It creates humiliation. So they feel shy to go in front of other. They always look down themselves. That may create depression. All right. And what happened? Another pass also. This tag also is not good because that creates the disease of superiority. Fail create the wound of inferiority. Pass that create the disease of superiority. There is no superior or no inferior, just unique. Everyone is absolutely unique. In the past, regarding teacher, he say that in the past, before the new invention of science and technology, teacher need to play the very important role, tremendously important. In the past, teacher was important, but at present context, the role of the teacher has been changed. The teacher, he learned so many things many years ago. He accumulated knowledge. The past knowledge is still inherited in mind. He become out of date, and he wants to impose the same tradition, same old system of the education to the new generation. That's why what happened? There is conflict between the new generation, the old generation. At present, a teacher can play the role of a guide as a facilitator. He can facilitate them, he can encourage them, he can motivate them, he can guide them, but he cannot teach at present. Okay. And regarding book, what he said that at present thick book are not good because to complete a thick book it may takes 1 year, 2 years, but when the book is complete, the idea become old. That's why at present what is necessary? Periodical is good. Short periodical is good. Should be written as new concept is given. So what happen? They learn and become old. And in learning system, what should be done? Computer and television should be used properly so that student can learn better because there is the visual perception. In sense perception, what happen? Only audio. That does not create very interesting image in mind. But what happen? If there is visual and audio both aspects are combined together, it of course very much useful to the students. That can be interesting, permanent and interesting also. He does not like, another thing is that he does not like those who kill animals which are without weapons. With weapons, they kill the innocent, weak animals. Yes, and they say that is bravery, hunting. They are cannibal. Those who kill animal, though who kills animals meat, they can eat human flesh also. And he gives the example of Palestine. In Palestine, always attack of terrorism, always conflict, always killing. There is the crisis of food and starvation occurred. That's what happened. They demanded with the government to eat the human flesh, and surprisingly, the government of Palestine gave authority to keep, and they started eating human flesh. and gradually they started what happened, enjoy eating human flesh, and consequently what happened, small people started disappearing, because that can be the consequence. Baby small children's flesh is very tasty, they started eating them. All right, and what he says that regarding God, a great reverence means respect for the life should be taught. What should be taught? Great respect for the life, because life is God. We don't need to respect the God, but life is God itself, right? And there is no other God than life itself. And joy, laughter, sense of humor, in short, a dancing spirit. The life should be very wonderful, joy, full of joy, full of laughter, and full of sense of humor. You have to enjoy each and every moment of your present. Let's not sacrifice your wonderful present thinking about your uncertain future. That's what he says. Okay, these are the common things he says. And what are the, if present system of the education is insufficient, and what is the sufficient according to him? What are the 5 dimensions according to Osho? Let's see those 5 dimensions according to Osho. Okay, and 5 dimension, the first dimension education is still need to have the informative knowledge, like such subjects should be taught: history, what happened in the past, what activities were happened in the past. Okay, so they need to know the historical knowledge, they need to know geographical knowledge, and such informative books should be studied to get information. And regarding language, he says that at least two languages are necessary to be learned, because one, mother tongue, to express the feeling and the sentiment, and another is English. It is an international language which is spoken and understood all over the world. To communicate and to be communicated in the world, English language is necessary. 2 languages are tremendously important. That is, they come to the first dimension of education. First dimension. Now second, another thing is that scientific subject. We need to have the knowledge of science and technology. If we do not have the knowledge of science and technology, we lag behind. We cannot understand what is going on at present, and we cannot enjoy the remarkable progress of science and technology. So, scientific knowledge also necessary, we have to study. Another third dimension is that the arts of living. We need to know how to live, how to make your lives interesting, how we can make interesting, okay, how we can transform our anger, hatred, jealousy into love and sense of humor, right? We should transform our negative emotion into positive emotion. Another fourth dimension is that arts of creativity. Arts of creativity means still need to encourage them for creative activity, but there are so many subjects, there should be the choice. Some may be very smart at painting, some may be very smart at music, some may be very smart at poetry, some dance, blah blah blah. But there should be choice, and they should encourage for their creativity. Now let's see the last dimension, fifth dimension. In the fifth dimension, what happened? We need to know the arts of dying. Arts of dying. Okay, arts of dying. People are usually become old and they are worried about the death. They are very much worried about death, because they like to cling on the earth, because they do not have any idea regarding the next life, new life. So that what happened, we need to have knowledge about meditation. We need to have knowledge about meditation. If you have the knowledge of meditation, of course we don't fear with the death, we realize that there is no death, we have the eternal life. We have the eternal life. And together he knows that, at least we need to have the arts of self defense, like Japanese people, they have self defense techniques without weapon. And finally he told that in the world there is no educated people, only few, only they have few or more knowledge, because all the 5 dimension has not been integrated together to be educated one. That's why there is no educated people in the world. Only the matter is that some they know few things and other know few or more or less. Okay, that is much, but actually there is no educated people, because educated people need to have integrated those 5 dimension of education. Thank you very much for your patience learning. Thank you. We shall join in our next class.